Hi there! Today we're going to take a look at the cube of a sum and difference and how to unfold that or unpack it without having to go through this method here. Hi there! Today we're going to discuss the cube of a sum and the cube of a difference. So, what does that mean? Cube of a sum being a plus b cubed, with it already put together in parentheses here. The answer to this is going to be a cubed plus 3a squared b plus 3ab squared plus b cubed. Well, let's break that apart. So if we have a plus b cubed here, what we can do is break it down into its components to solve a plus b. And I'll give you a nice little shortcut here as well. So what we need to do is we need to multiply a times by a times by a. That's how we get our a cubed. Then we need to go a times by b times by b. So we're going to have a b squared here. We're going to have one of those, but that's going to happen 3 times because we have to go through this 3 times, right? So our b, we're going to times by a, and we're going to end up with an a squared from that. That's also going to happen 3 times, and b times b times b is going to end up being our b cubed. So that's pretty straightforward, and of course it's plus here because everything is a positive integer. So what about a minus b cubed? Well, what's that going to look like? So if we have a minus b cubed, we're going to have a minus b, and another a minus b. Our answer is going to be a cubed minus 3a squared b plus 3ab squared minus b cubed. The reason for this is that you cannot subtract a negative. You then have to add it, correct? So let's solve this. We're going to end up with a cubed, right? So b, we're going to end up with our b cubed. And because it's subtraction, automatically a negative. So if we end up going through this again the same way we did here, we end up subtracting 3a squared b because, so we have b times by a times by a. So that minus b is going to render that into the negative because we have one negative versus our other digits. And again, because we cannot subtract a negative for our ab squared, we're going to have to plus that. Did that make sense? That's a pretty good shortcut for plowing through this equation here, or plowing through this formula. All right, so let's take a look at an example with a little bit more complexity added on here. So we have 2a plus 3b cubed. It's the same thing as over here. And you notice that we end up with an a cubed here because it's a times by a times by a, right? So 2 times by 2 is going to be 4. 4 times by 2 is going to be 8. So we end up with an 8a cubed. And because we have only positive integers, we are going to have a plus here. So our next one, 3a squared b. Well, how's that going to work? So if we take 2a twice and multiply it by 3b, or 3b times by 2a times by 2a, what we're going to have is 3 times by 2 being 6, 6 times by 2 being 12, and we'll have to go a little bit further with this here in a moment. But we're going to end up with a 12a squared on our first iteration. Just try to remember that we need to multiply this by 3 later. So we're also going to have to go the other direction. So 2a times by 3b times by 3b to get our b squared. So what we're going to have here, 3 times by 3 is 9. 9 times by 2 is going to be 18 to give ourselves a simple one here. So we're going to end up with 18a and a b with a square here. And we're going to have to also multiply this by 3. And our last one is going to be 3b times by 3b times by 3b. What's that going to be? So that's going to turn out to be 27. So 27b cubed. So 18 times by 3 is going to bring it down to a 54ab squared. And 12 times by 3 is going to be 36a squared b plus our 27b b cubed and our 8a cubed. So you can see how easy that is to get the cube of a sum. Let's take a look at some homework here. Let's give you something a little bit cruel and unusual because I love you. So we're going to go with 4a minus 2b cubed. Don't forget to leave your answer in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, watch other videos, and leave a comment below. See y'all next time.